At the beginning of the film, a boy named Miyata appears, standing in a subway station. He looks frightened because he feels trapped inside a maze. Whenever he goes past exit number 8, he always ends up back at the same spot. Every time, he sees a man silently walking through the corridor. Terrified, Miyata decides to ask the man for directions. But as soon as he turns around, that same man suddenly stands right behind him with a creepy smile, as if he can read Miyata's thoughts. Shocked, Miyata does not say anything and runs forward. He then notices a board that reads Exit 0, but the one above has Exit 8 written on it. This confuses him. He tries again and again, once, twice, even 100 times, to find a way out, but every path feels like a dead end. The doors look like showpieces. No matter how hard he tries, he keeps wandering inside the same maze. Miyata attempts to use the emergency intercom, but none of them work. His own phone has no signal either. Exhausted, he stops and looks at a picture on the wall. In it, ants are stuck in a strange loop, trying to find a way out, just like him. Neither the ants have a destination, nor does Miyata. This picture confirms to him that he is also trapped in such a loop, with no escape. Suddenly, blood starts dripping from the Exit 8 board above, falling onto his face. Horrified, he runs backward instead of forward. Shockingly, he sees a big change. The board that once said Exit 0 now says Exit 1, though everything else remains the same. On this board, some hints are written. One of them instructs, pay attention. If something unusual or abnormal happens, run backward immediately. If nothing seems abnormal, keep moving toward Exit 8. Miyata realizes that the dripping red liquid was the abnormal event. Because he ran backward, he progressed from Exit 0 to Exit 1. This gives him hope that he may eventually escape. He once again heads toward Exit 8. This time, nothing seems different, so he keeps moving. But when he reaches the Exit 0 board, he sees it as turned back to 0 instead of 1. That means he made a mistake. He understands the maze works like a game. One wrong move resets everything back to the beginning. To win, he must carefully follow the rules. Thinking smartly, he takes out his phone and starts taking pictures of everything so that he can detect changes later. He even captures a photo of the man, who keeps walking under the Exit 8 board. Since nothing unusual happens, he continues forward. Finally, the next board shows Exit 1, proving that his guess is correct. He has cleared level 1. For level 2, he knows he must repeat the same process. Observe and spot changes. He takes out his phone again, but now all his pictures appear blurred and useless. He realizes he must rely only on his mind to detect differences. While observing, he notices something unusual. The same man who always passes under the Exit 8 board is now standing still. Recognizing this change, Miyata immediately runs backward. The terrifying part is that the man starts following him. He does not walk, yet every time Miyata looks back, the man is right behind him. Frightened, Miyata falls but quickly gets up. He then sees the board that once showed Exit 0 now displays Exit 2. This means he has cleared another level. After passing 2 levels, Miyata becomes more confident. He memorizes everything carefully, searching for changes. While wandering, he hears the cry of a child from inside a locker. Nervously, he opens it, and what he sees terrifies him, though the scene is not shown. Terrified, he runs backward and clears level 3. The board now shows Exit 3. He thinks only 5 more levels remain before he can reach the corridor and escape this nightmare. With determination, he again moves toward Exit 8, paying close attention. This time, he feels someone watching him. When he looks at the pictures on the wall, the people in them move their eyes to follow him. Experiencing this abnormality, he quickly runs backward. The board now changes from Exit 3 to Exit 4. That means he has cleared 4 levels. Miyata becomes extremely happy. Half the game is complete. But along with happiness comes fear, because he knows one small mistake can send him back to 0. He starts circling toward Exit 8 again. As he walks through the corridor, his phone suddenly rings. The caller is his girlfriend, but the call gives him a strange and unsettling feeling. A few days earlier, Miyata and his girlfriend had decided to separate. When Miyata answers the call, he learns that he is going to become a father. The girl leaves the decision to him. If he wants the child, she is ready to return to him. Hearing this, Miyata feels unsettled. He remembers an incident from a train journey. A child was crying, and a man scolded the child and his mother. Miyata wanted to stand up for them and say something, but he lacked the courage. Now the thought of taking responsibility for his own child overwhelms him. Confused, he ends the call. The moment the call disconnects, the exit board, which had reached 4, resets back to 0. He realizes he has made a huge mistake. He already knows there is no signal inside the maze, so his girlfriend's call itself was the abnormal change. He failed to recognize it, and because of that, he did not run back. As a result, he loses all progress and returns to 0. Miyata, who had cleared half the levels, now has to start the game from the beginning. Frustrated, he screams loudly in despair. Though he must escape the maze, his motivation is gone. Still, with heavy steps, he keeps moving forward. After turning into a corridor, he sees a child and immediately runs backward toward the exit. But the board still shows 0. This means the child is not an abnormality. Miyata realizes that the child, just like him, is also trapped inside the maze and trying to escape. Soon, he also notices the man in a suit, the same one who always walks past him. At this point, Miyata understands that this man is not a part of the maze either. He too is trapped inside, searching for an escape, just like Miyata and the child. It is shown that earlier, the suited man and the child worked together as a team. Both of them often saw a girl inside the maze. Unlike them, she never tried to escape. When the man asked her why she was not attempting to get out, she replied that her daily life outside was too hard. She faced crowded trains and a tough job. She did not feel the need to return to that struggle. According to her, life inside the maze felt more relaxed. While she speaks, her voice begins to change gradually. She keeps repeating the same sentence again and again. Her voice grows heavier, eventually sounding like a man's voice. The suited man realizes this is an abnormality. Without wasting time, he grabs the child and runs toward the back exit. Their exit board now shows 6. This means they are very close to winning the game. Once again, they circle the maze, searching for the next abnormal change. They see the same girl passing by, but this time she does not say anything. The child notices that the door handles are fixed in a strange way. He tries to point this out to the man, but the man ignores him and keeps moving forward. That small mistake costs him the entire game, and the exit board resets back to 0. It means he has lost, and now he must restart. The man feels broken. Exhausted, he screams out in despair. Still, escaping the maze is necessary, so he decides to play again. He holds the child's hand and starts walking once more. Surprisingly, he sees a staircase leading upward. Excited, he wants to climb it. The child warns him that this is just an abnormality and that the rules require them to turn back. But the man refuses to listen and climbs the stairs. As a result, he remains trapped in the maze forever. The child, however, runs back toward the exit board and finds that the number has changed from 0 to 1. This proves that the stairs were an abnormality and not the real way out. The child now knows that the man will remain stuck there forever. The story shifts back to Miyata, who sees the same child. Since he already knows the man and the child once worked as a team, he realizes that the man has left the child behind. Miyata feels sorry for him. The child now becomes his partner. Soon, Miyata realizes the child is highly intelligent and can easily spot even the smallest changes. Using the child's sharp skills, they quickly clear level 1 and level 2. While exploring to pass the 3rd level, the maze lights begin to flicker. Strange noises fill the air, children crying and rats making bizarre sounds. Miyata turns on his phone flashlight and sees the suited man standing in a disturbing way. Terrified, he grabs the child's hand and runs back. This helps them clear another level. Everything they had just experienced was only a test. They continue into the next round. A woman appears in front of them. Miyata instantly understands she is an abnormality, so they must turn back. But the child becomes emotional, cries, and tries to approach the woman. Miyata lifts him and runs back, crossing another level successfully. Even after winning half the game, Miyata feels no happiness. His heart worries for the child, who longs for his mother. Feeling pity, he holds the child's hand tightly and promises himself to reunite him with his mother. In the next round, nothing seems unusual at first, but the child notices that the exit 8 board above shows the number written upside down. Such a tiny detail could be ignored, but the child's sharp mind catches it. They turn back immediately and clear level 6. Only 2 levels remain. Miyata believes that after this, he will finally escape the maze and return to the real world. Still, he feels strangely uneasy. As they circle again, suddenly a flood of water rushes in from behind. Miyata tries to carry the child back, but the child slips and falls into the flood. Miyata jumps in to save him. Underwater, he experiences a strange vision. He finds himself on a beach with his girlfriend, and the child appears as their son. Miyata enjoys playing with him. At this moment, he realizes that being a father is not a burden, but a beautiful bond. Suddenly, he feels sharp pain and returns to reality. He and the child are still trapped in the water. With all his strength, Miyata lifts the child up and places him above the exit 8 board. He himself, however, gets swept away by the current. The scene cuts. After some time, child wakes up in a ruined place. He turns back and sees that the exit board now shows 7. This means they have cleared another level. The child knows only the last level remains. But now Miyata is not with him. Meanwhile, Miyata is shown reaching the final stage, level 8. He feels shocked but not happy. He cannot decide whether this is his victory or just another trap. Clear stairs appear in front of him, and people are walking on them. Confused, he hesitates about whether to move back or forward. Finally, he decides to go ahead and even calls his girlfriend. This time his phone has a signal. It seems he has entered the real world and escaped the maze. When she answers, Miyata tells her that he is ready to accept the responsibility of being a father. He now understands he is prepared for fatherhood. He enters the metro, but strangely, everything inside looks familiar, as if he has seen it before. Soon a child cries, and a man scolds the child and his mother. This is the same scene shown earlier in Miyata's imagination. Miyata looks around. Everyone seems strange, busy with their phones. His heart sinks. He realizes he never cleared level 7. This is still a trap. He had seen an abnormality, but failed to turn back. Instead, he kept moving forward. Now he is caught once again in the same endless loop he wanted to escape. The film ends on this mystery, whether Miyata truly escapes or remains trapped forever inside the maze.